So the topic was, you said that you've read, and I know you have read and listened to a lot of personal development books. And if you start to read and listen to anything in personal development, pretty much all of them will, nobody says less than once a day, nobody really says more than 3 or 4 times a day, so the general consensus is a couple times a day, usually morning and night. You need to review, emotionalize, write out and or read, but emotionalize and review your goals, right? So what we were talking about here is, I think you said that I can't get myself to do that. So the point I made was that if you are ever in a situation where your emotions, so the reason you don't write out goals is you don't feel like writing out your goals, okay? Yeah. So if you don't feel like writing out your goals, that feeling is what you need to hover on. So whenever you have an emotion, a feeling that is contrary to your goals, okay, that should be like a check engine light going on in your car. Now, if you know anything about cars, usually 99% of the time, if the check engine light flashes on in your car, the car doesn't stop running, okay? That means something is not right. It knows that some sensor is out of range, there's something wrong that needs repair. So you can keep going and you keep driving, but what happens if you ignore that check engine light? With most things, that will cause something else to break, and then your engine will shut down, okay? So when you have that emotion that says, I don't want to write out my goals, but I know from coming to, through my training system or personal development regimen, that I know that's vital. When I don't want to do something that gets me to my goals, that emotion has an underlying belief. All emotions start in a belief. The beliefs create thoughts, the thoughts create emotions, okay? So what you need to start to dig down on it is when you notice that emotion, dogs follow their emotions, okay? Animals go by emotion. Animals pretty much cannot act counter to their emotions. Okay. So what you want to start to think about is, well, if I'm a human being, what successful people do is successful people don't have to do what they feel like doing. That's called delayed or deferred gratification. You can do what doesn't feel good now to have, great things later, okay? So what you want to start to think about is if you have that situation where you're not doing what you should be doing, hover on that emotion and try to find out what is the belief. The root of that feeling is a belief. So you need to exercise that belief to truly change the feeling. Otherwise, you're continually trying to do something counter to your feelings. So maybe it's because you don't believe that the goal-setting stuff really works, because it hasn't happened in the past. Maybe it's because, what did I say before?
Being comfortable.
We can say that, man, I'm uncomfortable where I'm at financially, man, this sucks. But if someone is continually in that situation, creditors call in, man, and I'm always short, and every disaster that happens, every flat tire that happens, refrigerator breaks down, I constantly don't have money. If we're continually, for a long period of time in that boat, I don't care what we say, the words that come out of our mouth. What that means is we are comfortable in this situation, or at least not uncomfortable enough to go through the pain of changing ourselves to get over that. Mm-hmm. So we have to start to be really realistic with ourselves and ask the tough questions, I guess, and then find out what are those real core beliefs. And there's no easy answers to this. To discover who you really are and to figure out that you were made fun of, because you moved to a different country, called Bermuda when you were in first grade, then came back in 4th grade, had not been to school with girls. To figure out that was actually holding me back, that took many years to really figure that out. Mm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hope that helps.